speaker, Roxanne, who is also my doctoral student. Like many of you graduates, Roxanne has come to the end of a road that once may have seemed out of reach, if not for the strength of her aspirations. She has faced and overcome significant hurdles her entire life, and today she completes perhaps the most important academic hurdle, that of receiving her PhD. She completes that study at UCSB with distinction. She was awarded the UC President's Fletcher Jones Dissertation Fellowship, and she recently traveled to Italy to participate in the highly competitive Summer Research Intern Program hosted by the European Association for Research on Adolescence. Her research on social networks support and persistence among economically disadvantaged first-generation college students will be of great value to higher education programs. Her dissertation focuses on very low-income European American undergraduates, a group that is surprisingly absent from the research literature on higher education and poverty. Roxanne's background has fueled her passion to reach out to other economically disadvantaged students, and her dissertation study speaks to broadening access to higher education for all who are qualified, regardless of economic circumstances. I have seen great things from Roxanne as a student, and I know we will see her shine in the future. Without further ado, I give you the 2008 student speaker, Roxanne.
Someone wise once said, "Do one thing each day that scares you." I think I can safely say I've conquered that task for today. I'm honored to be speaking to all of you. With each graduate comes a story, and the story usually involves important people who have supported and encouraged us along our journey. Whether it was a parent, grandparent, sibling, friend, teacher, coach, or administrator, most of you can probably reflect on an individual who impacted your story and how you got here today. Reflecting on my story, I can state with confidence that it was because of these people that I was able to do things that I once had never believed possible. I would like each of you to take a moment and think about those people for yourselves. Who was that person who made a difference for you? And how did that make that difference? Today, I would like to reflect on those people that made a difference and tell you a story about doing things that you thought you could not do and continuing to move forward. I was once told that if PhDs were easy, everyone would have one. One of the many gems of wisdom my friends and family have shared with me throughout my time here at UCSB. Although it may seem like a simple statement, it comforted me as I struggled to make my way through grad school, and it kept me moving forward. As a child, education was not a priority for me. Homelessness, poverty, and frequent relocation led to failing grades in middle school and a distaste for education in general. Eventually, I was moved into a new environment. I was able to focus on academics, and most importantly, the possibility of a future. I never believed at one point that I would go to college, but with the help of others, I kept moving forward, and I became the first person in my family to receive a bachelor's degree. Today, I become the first person in my family to receive a PhD. Reflecting on the hardships... Reflecting on the hardships I endured during my educational journey, I realized there were several people who impacted my life in immeasurable ways. From the time that I was in elementary school through my time here at UCSB. Individuals like my 4th grade teacher who asked me to stay after school and help her with projects. And my high school teacher who encouraged me to think about attending college and pursuing my interest in psychology. This support alone encouraged me to keep moving forward and to do things I had once never dreamt possible. Once in college, there were additional influential people who touched my life. My community college counselor who sat with me for hours explaining courses and how to transfer into a four-year university. and the woman in the financial aid office who sensed my desperation and sat with me explaining how to apply for additional grant money. Without these people, I may have not continued to move forward. During my undergraduate studies, I acquired a strong desire to raise academic achievement among economically and educationally disadvantaged students, like myself. Although I was passionate about this idea, I didn't really know how I was going to reach this goal. As I came to this realization, I remember a professor who took me aside and told me I should consider attending graduate school. At the time, the idea seemed crazy to me. No one in my family had ever attended graduate school, and how in the world would I ever afford it? Looking back, it was this professor's comments that fed my curiosity and provided me with the courage to explore the possibility of attending graduate school. So I kept moving forward, and eventually I was accepted into the Gewurz Graduate School of Education here at UCSB. I arrived at UCSB enthusiastic about the future. And after a few quarters, I'm sure many of you can bear with me on this, my enthusiasm began to fade. Exhausted from countless nights of reading until 4 o'clock in the morning, and stressed out about taking out the maximum loans I was eligible for, I began to have doubts about what I was doing here and if it was a good idea. Then one day I was walking out of the library. I ran into a student who was in one of my classes I was a TA for. She told me that she might be dropping out of college because her family could not afford to pay her tuition. I asked her to come to my office hours and sat with her, explaining financial aid requirements and how to apply for additional grant money. It was at that moment I realized that I saw the same look in her eyes that I must have had when countless advisors, teachers, friends, and family helped me. That this experience gave me the strength to keep moving forward, and that same year I published my first article on the experiences of low-income first-generation college students. So now is the time to give yourselves a pat on the back. As TAs and GSRs and student teachers, you may have already made a difference in the lives of those here at UCSB. Maybe you had a valuable conversation with a student who walked into your office hours. Maybe you inspired a research assistant to pursue graduate school. Or maybe you encouraged a fellow graduate student when they believed they couldn't finish. So without you, these individuals may have not had the courage to keep moving forward. The degree you received today presents you with the opportunity to continue impacting others. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you in advance for being these instrumental people who will make a difference in the lives of others. You are the future teachers, administrators, and researchers who will serve as mentors. Maybe you will be the teacher who encourages a student to attend college. Maybe you will be the administrator who develops a program to assist underserved students. Or perhaps you will be the next Nobel Prize winner in physics or economics and impact that 11-year-old girl who never believed science was for her. Without the support of people like you, I would not be where I am today. I stand before you as a direct result of years of assistance from the Equal Opportunities Program, Freshman Start programs, financial aid, various fellowships from Graduate Division, and most importantly, the individuals who touched my life in one way or another, many of whom traveled miles to sit with me today and congratulate me. As a child, I would never have imagined that I would be standing in front of you today. I never imagined I would go to college, earn a PhD, or be able to speak in front of this many people. With the encouragement of others, I was able to keep moving forward and do things I never dreamed were possible. Understanding how far I have come, I know that any individual, no matter how strong, requires a certain level of support in order to succeed. As you graduate today, I encourage you to continue to never underestimate the importance of hope, support, and the impact you have on the lives of others. So believe in yourself, believe in others, do the things you think you cannot do, and keep moving forward. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2008.
Thank you, Roxanne, for your enthusiasm and your persistence, and for reminding us that there are very important people that help us go forward on a day-to-day basis. Before we honor the very meritorious degree candidates today, I would like to recognize the students who have won special awards for contributing to